Hi, lovelies. I'm Ariel, and this is Maven Unmasked, and welcome to your full moon reading in Scorpio for April 2016. I have already drawn some cards for the reading, so I'm just going to talk about them with you all. So the full moon will be April 21st and April 22nd of 2016 in Scorpio. So I am a Scorpio, so I'm really feeling this full moon. This is actually a micro moon, so I believe it's the smallest moon of the year, but I believe its effects are going to be huge. We are really going to feel them, and I know I definitely am, being a Scorpio. On that note, we also have several planets in retrograde or about to go retrograde. We have Mercury, which is about to go retrograde, I believe. I want to say April 28th. Don't quote me on that, but it's coming very quickly. We also have Saturn in retrograde, and then we also have Mars and Pluto in retrograde, and Mars and Pluto are both ruling planets. They are co-rulers to the zodiac sign of Scorpio. So if you are a Scorpio, plus we have all these retrogrades going on, so it's a ton of energy. Changing and shifting and moving. We'll be doing a lot of inner work, a lot of reevaluating things that we've already done since January, especially since the last Mercury retrograde in January. So be sure to be on the lookout for, old issues coming back. People coming back into your life, communication issues, spiritual, reevaluating your spiritual beliefs, where you stand, bringing out that warrior spirit within you, all of those kinds of things. So Mars is the warrior within you. Pluto is your spiritual teachings. Mercury is the communication. So let's go ahead and get started with the reading, shall we? Today I'm using the Angels, Gods, and Goddesses Oracle as well as the Halloween Oracle, just because Scorpio comes right around Halloween. So we're going to use those. So the card I received from the Angels, Gods, and Goddesses Oracle is the Angel of Pleasure. Take pleasure in the things you do. And this could not be more of a perfect message for the Scorpio full moon. Why? Because the Scorpio is all about your sensuality and your sexuality and your passion, your intuition. So I know for me, as a Scorpio, I love sensual things. So anything that smells good, anything that's soft to the touch, satin, silk, velvet. But really to take pleasure in the things you do. Scorpio is also about sex. It is a very sexual sign. So again, with the pleasure, take pleasure in the things that you do. So you may have a spark in virility this full moon. You may have an increase in your intuition this full moon. Scorpio is a very intuitive sign. You may feel that you want to get to the bottom of things, that investigative spirit that Scorpio has. And really, this angel comes to us just as a message to enjoy ourselves, to indulge a little bit, and really enjoy what you're doing, enjoy the people that you're with, the work that you're doing. Okay. And then for the Halloween Oracle, I received a bunch of cards. I received 4 cards. So let's get started. The first one is Graveyard, a necessary fear. Okay, a necessary fear. I'm gonna hold it over here. Still trying to figure out this whole camera angle thing, guys. You think I would have been making videos for this long? I would have figured out the best camera angles for these cards, but the glare. So I do apologize. But Graveyard, unnecessary fear. So I think with all these retrogrades, we do have a lot of fear. Scorpio can be a very passionate or aggressive sign at times, when we do get scared, when there is fear. And with this retrograde energy, all these things coming back, all this reevaluating, this full moon in Scorpio really wants us to put the unnecessary fear aside and get to the bottom of things, get to the root of your fear, and know that there really is nothing to be afraid of. Things are changing. Scorpio is all about transformation, okay? The phoenix, the snake shedding its skin, change, transformation, rejuvenation, death. The sign of Scorpio is associated with the death card in tarot, so those kinds of changes. But not to be afraid of them. It's a natural part of life. Graveyard, don't be afraid of the graveyard. Don't be afraid of the things from your past, the things that have died, the things that you've left behind. Even if you walk past them, even if they come up again, there's no need to fear. Nothing is there anymore. Everything is, in graveyards, the body may be there, but the soul is not there. So think about that. Unnecessary fear. The next card I have, and it's funny because all three of these fell out together. They're all skulls. So I thought it was just super appropriate. The first one we have is the Underworld, where all things pause and begin again and again, with the Scorpio energy, with that Mercury retrograde, all those other planets in retrograde, all of that energy. When a planet is going retrograde, it has to pause for a while. It's stationary, it's stations. So before things change, before we have to, reevaluate, we really, get that opportunity to breathe and to stop and to explore where we currently are before delving back, into the past, into the same issues that keep arising for us and why they keep arising for us. And I love this card. The pomegranate really takes me to the Demeter and Persephone mythology. So, but yes, where all things pause and begin again. So, like, think about it like a butterfly. It eats, a caterpillar eats and eats and eats, and then before it becomes a butterfly, before it breaks free and has this huge transformation, it pauses in its cocoon and it has to wait and be patient. Okay. Next, we have the Skull of Flowers, creating through the ashes. And this is just such a full moon and Scorpio card to me. The phoenix rising from the ashes. Again, that change and transformation and rebirth, renewal energy. So things that that may come up for us with this full moon, like I said, I think it'll be an intense full moon. Some really intense Scorpio energy, some of that darker Scorpio energy, our parts of our shadow self, and, having maybe even a tower moment, like in tarot language, the tower card. So a big, sudden, striking change. Things burn. The image in the traditional tarot card of the tower is a lightning bolt striking a tower and fire and people falling out of the building. So, creating through the ashes, rebuilding. So even though we may have some new insights after this full moon, some new insights after this retrograde, we will still be able to create through the ashes. We will have learned how to rebuild a new and better situation for ourselves, to channel that energy into a healthier form, into a more beautiful, more potent form. When we go through bad things, or when we go through, the reevaluating of ourselves and our beliefs, sometimes we question who we are, but that just deepens our understanding of ourselves and makes us a better person and gives us the opportunity to create through the ashes, to create even more beautiful things, to learn from those mistakes. Without the crumbling, you wouldn't be able to start anew again. And the last card is the Skull of Stars, infinite possibilities. And I love how this fell out right after the creating through the ashes card, because I believe after, all of these planets kind of end their retrograde period, I believe that'll be at the end of August, or beginning of September, that all new doors will open up for us, because we've truly had the opportunity to look back and once we've looked back, the road in front of us will be even clearer to us, because we learned what didn't work in the past. We've let go of all of those old things that didn't serve us, the pains, the hurts, the desires that didn't come through, the loves that, didn't work out the way we wanted them to, the heartache, all of those things, because all of those things will be evaluated, and we'll have to take a look at again in the next couple of months. But once, the old skin is shed, again, the Scorpio, the snake, shedding old skin, once that is shed, infinite possibilities will be available to us. We will have grown and learned and changed so much. So that is our message for our full moon in Scorpio, as well as all these planets in retrograde we have here going on. So again, the angel of pleasure comes to us with the message to take pleasure in the things you do. We have the underworld, where all things pause and begin. We have the graveyard, unnecessary fear, letting go of those things that can hold us back. Skull of flowers, creating through the ashes, and the skull of stars, infinite possibilities. So really create through the ashes with this full moon, with these retrogrades, and, you know, allow that space to be open within you to receive infinite possibilities. Don't limit yourself, lovelies. Have a beautiful one. Bye.